Right now, Fortnite is completely under fire for having stolen features in Chapter 3. And while some I just flat out don't agree with, there are some that have a good argument, like the Bandage Bazooka. And this one's kinda tricky. The Bandage Bazooka blew our minds when it came out, as it was the first item to take up 2 inventory slots and was also one of the very first times that we were able to heal our teammates from halfway across the map. It was great. But it looks like Epic took at least a little inspiration when designing this thing, as Team Fortress 2 had a similar idea in the game for years. If you play as the medic, his secondary weapon is the Medigun, and it's a bazooka that locks onto teammates and heals them. Sound a little familiar? Well, it's definitely not as blatant as sliding. One of Chapter 3's coolest new additions is by far the sliding feature. We now slide around everywhere we go, whether it's down ramps or into enemies' boxes. But did you know that this mechanic was stolen straight from Fortnite's competitors? Games like Warzone and Apex Legends both have their own sliding mechanics that make mobility feel way quicker than Fortnite's running. But with Chapter 3, that isn't the case anymore, and we have Epic copying other games to thank. And remember that taking inspiration from other games isn't even that bad. I mean, Fortnite did web slinging better than the actual Avengers game. And you don't even have to steal from other people. Epic sometimes takes ideas from themselves, like runes. For years at this point, we have been analyzing every single pixel of the cubes, trying to figure out what all of these symbols and runes actually mean. But it turns out that even these were stolen from another game. Epic's own series Infinity Blade had these exact runes as part of the storyline, and the language has been taken over and ported right into Fortnite. It's kinda disappointing, but we all know Donald Mustard will find a way to give these runes some meaning in the future. Not to mention, Epic also just stole the actual Infinity Blade from the games too, and that was way more devastating when it came out. But another thing people are controversially claiming Fortnite stole are tornadoes. Back in November, Battlefield 2042 came out, and while it didn't have the best reception, it did have some awesome new features, and one of those that everyone wanted to try out was tornadoes. It was a feature that everybody was talking about, and it's no surprise that just a few months after they were first revealed, Fortnite Chapter 3 dropped with tornadoes. Now, this was especially pointed out on Reddit's gaming subreddit, where it got over 15,000 upvotes, with the author saying Fortnite has absolutely no shame when it comes to copying other games. While some actually believe Fortnite straight up stole this from Battlefield, tornadoes have been around in plenty of other games like Just Cause 4, and not to mention developing a system like this takes months. It definitely wasn't taken from Battlefield. And so with that aside, another thing inspired by Epic themselves were revives. Once again, we have an example of stealing from yourself, and that comes with one of Fortnite's core mechanics. Since day one, losing all your health has meant you get down and need to be revived by a teammate, but this entire mechanic, including the animation, was stolen straight from Gears of War, which Epic also made. But something that shocked absolutely nobody though was Season 6. It's not often that an entire season of Fortnite feels stolen from something else, but back in Chapter 2 Season 6, that definitely seemed to be the case. We had a primal theme for the entire thing, which allowed us to get a new loot pool, wildlife, and all kinds of new mechanics, but a lot of these mechanics felt kinda similar. In fact, almost everything seemed to be taken straight from Zelda Breath of the Wild. With the new chickens, these were blatantly stolen from the game. Being able to hold them above your head and glide is something that the Zelda games made popular. Then we had wildlife around the map that you could tame, get meat from, and had to avoid, not to mention crafting and trading with NPCs. Now, trading was technically added in the season before and took influences from Minecraft's villagers and the NPCs that you buy items from in Breath of the Wild. And so what do you use to buy those items in Fortnite? Well, it turns out that's also stolen. Of course, I'm talking about gold. Back in Chapter 2 Season 5, not only were NPCs added, but an entirely new currency system was introduced as well, gold. While it's become a big part of the way we play Fortnite, it was secretly taken straight from Call of Duty Warzone, which also has a currency system. In Warzone, you collect money from chests around the map and can spend it on upgrades or even reviving a downed teammate. You could also get bounties in Warzone, which tell you a player's location and you need to hunt them down in return for money. Of course, this exact feature can be found in Fortnite ever since Chapter 2 Season 5, and it's a shameless ripoff for sure. But it's not just Warzone Epic has been taking notes from. There's one game which Fortnite has been keeping its eye on for a while, and that is Apex Legends. Anyone who has played Apex Legends and Fortnite on the regular has probably noticed a scary amount of similarities, and it's because both games take ideas straight from each other. And when it comes to Epic taking things from Apex Legends, there's quite a few things that we use on the daily which wouldn't have happened without a little inspiration from Fortnite's competitor. For starters, there's the Reboot Van system, which was inspired directly by Apex Legends' respawn feature, and it was added just a short time after Apex first came out. And then there was Trios, which Apex was known for at the time until Fortnite went ahead and added a Trios mode into their lineup of playlists. It keeps going because Epic also took the idea for vaults from Apex Legends. Back when they were very close competitors, Apex had vaults in the game where you could get insane loot, and of course, a few months later, Fortnite adds vaults and keycards. It's no coincidence. But by far, the coolest thing Epic has taken from Apex Legends is the ping system. One of the best features of Apex was that you could ping anywhere and alert your team without needing a mic, and Fortnite added their own spin on it, which we still use to this day. But a lot of the times we think Fortnite stole something, it's anyone's guess, except there is something that is confirmed to be stolen stolen, and that is The Recycler. If there's a perfect game to steal ideas from, it's gonna be the one that deserves it, and that is Creative Destruction. This was a game released in mid-2018 that was originally a complete Fortnite clone. It ripped off every element of Fortnite down to the UI. But even ripoffs have their own original ideas, and one of those was a gun named The Recycler. In Creative Destruction, The Recycler works exactly the same way as the Fortnite version does. So it's no surprise that Epic Games took that idea and released it during Chapter 2 Season 6. It's kinda genius. Instead of getting angry over ripoffs, just use them as inspiration. It's perfect. While taking inspiration from competitors is always a fun and great idea, sometimes it could actually hurt, and that exact thing happened when Fortnite stole Among Us. In 2021, an upcoming Fortnite game mode was leaked, with the files referencing places like Electrical, Cafeteria, Sabotage, and Tasks. And at this point, everyone knew what this meant. Fortnite was about to drop a crossover with Among Us. But when it actually arrived, it ended up being the Fortnite Imposters LTM, and there was no mention of Among Us at all, despite the fact it was clearly a ripoff of the game. Now, we all assume that Epic might have at least asked permission to steal this, but on the same day the Imposters mode released, a few developers who worked on Among Us called out Epic for stealing their game. One of the devs said, "Is it really that hard to put 10% more effort into putting your own spin on it though?" With another joking, "It's okay though, they flipped Electrical and Medbay and connected security to Cafeteria." But the icing on the cake was when a third person who worked on Among Us said it would have been really cool to collab, and it sounds like Fortnite really hurt these guys, which kinda sucked. But luckily, this story has a happy ending, as eventually Fortnite posted a tweet saying the Imposters mode was inspired by the hit game Among Us, and it didn't stop there. The Among Us account replied, and they both got into a combo teasing that an official crossover between both games was in the works and will be coming out sometime soon. So it looks like something good came out of this, but something that was shamelessly stolen though were supply drops. Since day one, supply drops in Fortnite have been an iconic part of the game. Everyone knows about going to an area and being lucky enough to see that famous blue balloon sailing down full of loot. But of course, like a lot of things, supply drops are taken from other games, with a good example being PUBG, which was the biggest battle royale game at the time. In PUBG, supply drops were one of the most sought-after parts of a match, and Fortnite tried to replicate that experience with their own version. Although it feels like rarely anyone cares enough to grab a Fortnite supply drop nowadays. Shockingly, something that was stolen was the guided missile. Yes, it turns out that one of the most OG weapons in all of Fortnite, the guided missile launcher, wasn't original to Battle Royale. It was taken from 007 Nightfire, a game that was originally on the GameCube. In 007 Nightfire, there's a gun called the Sentinel that works exactly like the guided missile, and it's no surprise that Epic employees would have wanted to bring this classic back to life. But even one of Fortnite's most famous features wasn't original, and that is the Battle Pass. A lot of the time, people claim that Fortnite invented the Battle Pass, and it's not exactly true. I mean, sure, if it wasn't for Fortnite, loot boxes would still be the norm in gaming right now. But while Fortnite may have made Battle Passes more popular than ever before, they didn't create them. That honor goes to Dota 2. Dota 2 has had a Battle Pass since 2016, and the concept has existed since as far back as 2013. Just like Fortnite, Dota uses money from the Battle Pass to fund esports and keep their game going, as both games are free to play. But something people definitely know was stolen was radio stations. When cars first came out of Fortnite, we loved them, but there was something missing, a hole that needed to be filled, and that hole existed purely because of GTA. So to fix that, Epic took the idea of radio stations and added it to the game, based on how popular GTA's radio stations are. And now you can drive around in a car and listen to all of the pop music you want. And so while we're on the topic of music, that brings us to concerts. And so just like the Battle Pass, Fortnite may have made virtual concerts more popular than ever before, but they didn't invent them. Back in 2016, Aluna George hosted a Minecraft concert, and if you go even further back in 2013, there was a huge in-game concert for charity hosted by Monstercat. And even further back than that was in 2006, when an artist hosted a concert in Second Life. But despite this, Fortnite still did concerts better than any game has ever done, and eventually games like Roblox hopped on the trend and copied Fortnite. But what you might not have known is that even the landing beacons in Fortnite are stolen. All the way back in Chapter 1, when Fortnite added landing beacons, no one realized that even these were taken from another game. Another VR, Realm Royale, had these exact beacons in their game, and once Fortnite added them, even fans of Realm pointed out the similarities, but they all seem to be supportive of it. And so by far, the coolest thing Fortnite has stolen from another game is Creative Mode. Of course, back in 2018, Fortnite released its third game mode, Creative Mode, and as we all know, this was inspired directly by Minecraft's version of Creative Mode. In both games, you can switch to Creative to build your own world without worrying about the main rules of the game. Except in Fortnite, they turned Creative into a whole new type of game. While in Minecraft it's just like enabling cheats, Creative Mode of Fortnite is a straight-up sandbox mode where anyone can play someone else's creation outside of Battle Royale. And so those are 20 things Fortnite stole from other games. It's Batami, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.